The Flash moments unleashed his Berserker rage. Superman and Batman are two of the most popular DC superheroes on paper, but it is very common for more die-hard fans to have an affinity toward the Flash. For those who are not so well versed with the phenomenal speedster, super speed might not come off as the coolest ability, but it actually is, and with Flash's versatility, it is one of the best abilities throughout the DC verse. Not just in terms of strength, but also in terms of how it affects the storyline. Thanks to concepts such as the Speed Force, time travel, and the Flashpoint. As a solo hero from Central City and a member of the Justice League, the Flash has gone against his fair share of villains, be it to save the world, the multiverse, or to save his friend, and his entanglement with time travel has put him into desperate times, causing him to use desperate measures. In today's video, we will go over such moments where Barry Allen's Flash has gone absolutely berserk in his fights and against his enemies throughout several forms of media, such as live-action films, live-action television, and animation. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Flash defeats Brainiac Luthor while the entire Justice League is down. Justice League Unlimited 2001. Kicking off the list with the 12th episode of Justice League Unlimited Season 2, Flash goes haywire in a fight against a Brainiac-powered President Lex Luthor in the episode Divided We Fall. The episode begins with the Justice League members and Amanda. All are witnessing Brainiac inside the body of Lex Luthor. This new power amp effectively cures Luthor's kryptonite poisoning.
I'll be dead.
Be gone.
There is a fight against the Justice League which does more than enough to prove the power of Brainiac Luthor, depicting him as a terrifying villain for this arc. This Luthor is under Brainiac's control, who is using him as a temporary vessel until he finds a more suitable host body. Meanwhile, Luthor offers to expose, bringing back to the higher world of imagination. They seek out the power of the Dark Heart, which is a specimen of advanced alien tech that can constantly reconstruct itself using nanotechnology. This creates an ultimate fusion between Luthor and Brainiac, and Luthor also gets an android-like body. As a result, together they can now absorb all the knowledge on Earth and the universe and subsequently destroy them, to remake the entire reality as per their liking. The hybrid conjures replicas of the Justice Lords to make them battle their League counterparts. It also instills their worst fears within them to weaken them in battle. Despite the struggles, the League is able to defeat their doppelgangers. However, they are still unable to do anything about the Luthor-Brainiac hybrid, which finally brings us to Flash, taking the matter into his own hands with every League member knocked out and Flash being the last one standing. Everything rests on the shoulders of the speedster Brainiac. Luthor attacks Flash with guards made of their nanotech. He then squares up to kill Flash and carry on with his Armageddon plan when a corner Flash vibrates his arms to free himself from the restraints of the nanotech guard. Brainiac, Luthor mocks him again as he is aware that Flash is not strong enough to fight him. So Flash changes his direction and runs. He suddenly appears from the opposite direction and lands a blow on the hybrid. He uses the power of the Speed Force to run around the world in a matter of seconds, and with each lap he lands a huge blow on Brainiac Luthor. Each blow tears away parts of the android armor, and Flash then makes his fastest run ever, zapping into the Speed Force coming through oceans and wreaking havoc on Luthor. When he is done, he stands atop a knockdown Brainiac Luthor as his body vibrates furiously with the power of the Speed Force. Flash then vibrates his arms, tearing off the armor from Brainiac Luthor's body, leaving him with nothing. Ultimately, Luthor is left in a crater naked. The League members regain consciousness and Flash looks at them, but suddenly he says that he feels funny and fades away. Fortunately, the League is later able to bring him back from the Speed Force. Flash burns himself to death to get his power back. Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox 2013. The 2013 animated movie Justice League. The Flashpoint Paradox witnesses Barry Allen go back in time and save his mother, Nora Allen, from death. This creates a ripple effect in the time stream, altering every event just by a bit. Barry wakes up in a new world of the Flashpoint where his mother is alive, his lover is married to another man, and the Flash does not exist here. Atlantis and the Amazons are at war because of Diana killing Mira after being attacked by her. Superman does not exist, and Batman is actually Dr. Thomas Wayne, who lost his son Bruce Wayne on that night at Crime Alley. Barry Allen learns of the existence of a superhero, Batman, in this world, and seeks him out, only to learn the truth behind the man. He lets him in on the fact that he comes from a timeline where Bruce had survived, which prompts a more cautious Thomas Wayne to help Barry out. But first, he must recreate the accident that gave Barry the power of the speech. Sir Barry is strapped to a chair surrounded by chemicals. The chair has a lightning rod attached to it as Barry hopes to get struck by lightning. Again, and the storm taking place right at the moment seems to be of great help. Batman believes that there is insane enough to end up in Arkham Asylum for forcing himself to go through this, but this is something that must be done. Lightning strikes and Barry's body catches fire. Batman douses the fire to save him, but Barry's body gets burnt. The plan fails and Batman is forced to treat a severely injured Barry Allen. During this time, Barry also begins to get new memories. Memories he would have had if he belonged to his timeline from the beginning. He also realizes that this might cause him to lose his older memories. Stuck in a desperate situation, Barry decides to put himself through the accident again. Once again, Batman thinks he is insane, and this time Barry asks him to douse the fire. Earlier, lightning hits a severely injured, burnt, and bandaged Barry at this time. He is able to tap into the Speed Force at this time. Around him seems to slow down. The effect knocks Batman out and almost kills him. But now that Barry is a Flash, once again he is fast enough to save him and heal his body. Flash goes beast mode, reverses time, and saves the Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2021, the original Justice League film from the DC Extended Universe, had one key Flash moment, the one where he helped bring Superman back to life by activating the Mother Box. However, the film was far from being what the Justice League fans truly wanted, which prompted them to make petition after petition for Zack Snyder's version of the movie The Justice League. Snyder Cut was finally released in 2021. And the premise was quite similar, with Steppenwolf coming to Earth via the Mother Boxes and trying to terraform the planet. However, he also brought in Darkseid, who was the primary villain behind Steppenwolf, as he had previously tried to take over Earth with the Mother Boxes, with a big threat being posed in Steppenwolf and his Parademon army being a handful for the newly formed Justice League. They had to bring Superman back to life. The plan worked out, and initially an amnesiac Superman went against the entire League. However, the presence of Lois Lane was able to bring him back to his senses. On the other hand, Stephen Wolf needed all three Mother Boxes to create the Unity and terraform Earth into his homeworld. The five heroes might, as Superman, travel to Russia as Steppenwolf is trying to create Unity there. However, they fail, even though Superman arrives and subdued Steppenwolf. With Earth compromised, Barry must do something to prevent the disaster from happening. The Flash gives himself a pep talk and taps into the Speed Force. He runs fast enough to break the barriers and change the past, buying Victor or Cyborg and Superman enough time to prevent the Unity in the past. Thankfully, the plan succeeds and the Unity is prevented. Steppenwolf is decapitated soon after, and his body is sent to Apocalypse via portal.
For an eternity of hell. Now welcome to yours.
Flash becomes Savitar and kills his wife, Iris. CW's Flash Season 3. CW's Flash introduced Savitar as a villain for his third season. The season kicks off with Barry creating Flashpoint, just like the 2013 film Flashpoint Paradox. This changes everything, and we get to see how the rules of time travel begin to apply less and less to those who engage in it. With every instance of time travel, Barry leaves behind his remnants, creating other versions of himself. One of these remnants turns out to be Savitar, a darker version of Barry who was shunned by his friends for not being like the Barry they knew, heartbroken and dejected. Savitar rejected the world and tried to become a god. He first had to kill his lover, Iris. The existence of Barry Allen also put his existence in jeopardy, so he had to alter various life in a way that he would be forced to turn to the dark. This is where Iris comes into play as a big story arc. The season revolves around Savitar killing Iris and Barry going above and beyond to stop the disastrous event from happening. But when Barry learns of Savitar's true identity, we are really made to feel for the villain. Every time remnant of Barry Allen was killed by a future version of the Flash. But Savitar had managed to live despite getting his chance at life. He went through being shunned by his friends for being an aberration. Being broken and alone forced him to seek out godhood, as he did not want to feel the pain any longer. And for that reason, he kick-started his journey by killing the love of his life, not just for himself, but for the other Barry Allen as well. Flash unleashes his full power, CW's Flash Season 8. In the beginning of the 8th season of CWA's Flash, that is the one from the Arrowverse, Flash reveals his true identity to the supervillain Despero to prove his honor. However, Flash's actions are set to cause Armageddon in 2031, which is somehow triggered by all Flash's loved ones dying, causing him to lose his sanity. It is also imminent that Despero will turn Barry in, but both Cecile and Barry have had a hard time believing it. Meanwhile, another Medhuman villain named Zoltar continues to be an obstacle. Iris finds leaves that connect Zotar to Despero. Zoltar is a Medhuman who can control minds. Iris believes that catching her would be a huge help, as she thinks Zotar is behind controlling Gary's mind to going rogue in the future. Soon after, Zotar and the Flash faced one another at a diamond heist. The crisis is averted, but not for long, as Zotar returns to go against the Flash. Chester learns of Zotar's presence and tries to alert Barry about it, but it is too late. Barry's comms cut off, and Zotar uses her mind control powers to steal from Central City Museum. The Flash arrives to help the people, but he falls victim to her telekinesis as he is lifted upwards and is more or less handicapped by not being able to tap into the Speed Force. Flash finds a way out. He begins to vibrate the molecules within his body on a very microscopic. Neville Zoltar crushes his bones and Barry is in unreal pain, but he does not stop. The lightning builds up more and more within him, giving him access to the Speed Force. Ultimately, it creates a shockwave that takes down Zotar. That is all in this part of Flash Unleashed moments where his Berserker rage. We will cover more Unleashed moments of Flash in the next upcoming episode. Till then, if you liked our content, don't forget to give us a like. Subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.